So here's yet another short story completely backing that they always come back. When things don't work out with the guy that they clearly left you for, or whatever that reason may be, they will always come back. And usually through begging and crying and pleading, or they'll just be so entitled and arrogant they think that you'll just take them back anyway. And in this story here, you're going to see just that. And in no way, shape, or form should any guy take them back, because if they do, they'll do the same thing all over again down the road when they feel comfortable. Titled, Wife left me for 6 months, then came back, found out she was dating while we were married. I need advice. And a shout out to Bill for sending in this story. It says, I'm looking for advice because I honestly don't know what to do. My wife is 40 years old, as am I, and have been married for over 13 years, and we have 2 daughters. Right now my girls are staying with my relatives. When my wife left, my relatives told me the girls could stay there until I figured out what to do. Last year was very rough for all of us. Things got so bad that one day she packed her things and left the state to stay with her family. She didn't really tell me ahead of time that she was planning to leave. What kind of mother does that? Okay, you have a bad marriage, and she wants to part ways. Okay, it happens. But no, she's just picking up and abandoning not just him, the daughters. Financially, it didn't affect me much because I had already been paying all the bills. When she left, I actually started doing better mentally and financially. You hear that? I didn't go on any dates or look for anyone else because we were still technically married. We also didn't text or call each other at all. For me, it felt like a betrayal, and I believed the marriage was basically over. Brother, the marriage is over. She completely abandoned you and her daughters. Family courts are, let's be honest, sadly, almost always with the wives and mothers, but this situation, you got a clear case of abandonment there. And notice what he said? I pay all the bills. He does all the work. And she left, it got better. Do you know why? Because we all know, by and large, not all, but most women they piss away money on bullshit, and he's feeling better. End it, get a lawyer. About 5 months later, she texted me out of the blue saying that she made up her mind and wanted to come back. I'd be like, I made up my mind too. You ain't coming back, sugar muffin. I told her I had already started thinking about divorce, and I would likely ask her to get a lawyer to represent her. She got angry over the phone, and she later told me that she would get her own lawyer and fight me for custody of our daughters. Yeah, I'm sure the court will look very well upon having the daughters go with her, given how she just abandoned them out of the blue. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some absolute piece of dog crap courts out there and judges that would look past that anyway, but still. The thing is, during the time she was gone, she rarely called them. At that point, I told her that if that's what she wanted, then we would handle it in court. I didn't want the divorce to drag on forever. After going back and forth for a while, she convinced me to try to work things out and let her come back home to the house. Smack! Dude, what the hell's the matter with you? Come on, man. If you take her back, she'll do it again. Whatever's going on. And by the way, come on here. The odds are extremely likely she didn't leave to go be with her family. She left because there was another guy. And she's now coming back because it didn't work out with that guy. Well, I paid for her U-Haul and hotel while she traveled back. Again, smack. No, let her pay for that. Let her find a way. When she returned home, we went to visit our daughters together. She also told me that she didn't want to discuss anything about what happened while she was in Florida. She has a pair, doesn't she? My interpretation of this whole situation is that obviously she does not love her husband. That's a given. She has no respect for him. And she's just so convinced that she can walk all over him, which you can kind of see because he took her back. Nope, we're not going to talk about what happened. Like, oh, no. If you're even going to set foot on our property, we're going to talk about what happened, honey. After about a week, we slept together. Smack! Are you nuts? Now you're not helping your case to divorce her if you're now sleeping with her. It got a little rough, and she ended up sore afterwards. The next day, she told me that I had been rough, and that while she was in Florida, she never had any issues like that. Okay, well, obviously she was getting rough with somebody else, but not that rough. That immediately raised a red flag with me, but I ignored it. She has now been back for over a month. Recently, we had another talk about our relationship. She said that I hadn't been a good husband to her, and that I needed to work on things. I work 2 jobs, so the only real time we spend together is usually on weekends. How the hell, really? Talk about gaslighting here. He needs to work on things. He's the bad husband. She's the one that picked up and not only left him, but her daughters for 5 to 6 months with barely any contact. He's the bad one, really? And by the way, notice he said, I work 2 jobs. She doesn't work at all. Of course, he doesn't have enough time to spend with her because he's working 2 jobs. She doesn't have to get up in the morning, do the trek to commute there, deal with annoying customers and clients, annoying managers and bosses, and she has the gall to complain. He's probably worn out. Oh my God. During the conversation, I jokingly said that I hope she didn't decide to date someone while she was gone. Dude, of course she was not only dating, but a lot more than with some guy. I told her I didn't date anybody. She responded by saying that if I dated someone, it might have helped me know whether I still wanted to be in a relationship. I then asked her if she dated someone while she was away. She admitted that she did. I asked why the relationship ended, and she said the person was weird. I didn't ask any more questions, and I could tell that this was going to lead to an argument. I was tired and really didn't want to argue. Smack, bro. Stand up for yourself. You should have never taken her back and certainly slept with her. Of course, she was dating probably many. And probably what happened was it didn't work out with that guy. She ran out of options, and now she's back to you. And the second she gets comfortable again and finds supposedly another option, she'll be gone. I then asked her why she wanted to come back to our relationship. She said she came back for the family and for our marriage. Yeah, sure. I can tell how much the family and the marriage, how important that is to her. At that moment, things started to click for me. It made me feel like she was not just dating, but probably sleeping with somebody else, and that might explain the comment she made earlier. Now I'm sitting here at work, and I honestly don't know what to do. Brother, you know what to do. You just don't want to do it. Should I move forward with the divorce and fight for custody of my daughters, or should I give it time and try to work on the marriage? Any advice would be appreciated. Smack some sense in you, brother. Bro, it is not your fault what she did. She is an a-hole. But it is your fault for taking her back, given how she's treated you. She abandoned you and your daughters, for God's sakes. Do you think that's a good person to have around your kids at any length of time? You can't trust her. I get you don't want to be divorced, and I get in some way I don't want to have the daughters have a broken home. It is already a broken home. Okay? There's no way your daughters probably trust her anymore. I'm sure they're probably not even talking to her. I don't know how old they are. They're probably, I don't know, you've been married 13 years. If you see you had the kids a few years after, they're probably, 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't know. They're not going to trust her. That stuff damages them. Do you really want to put your daughters through that again? You don't think of yourself, think of them. Get a lawyer, find out your options. You're going to have you'll have the benefit of the fact that she disappeared on them to help you in court, hopefully to get full custody or certainly get a better deal. But you can't stay with her. And yeah, you're going to get hit because obviously you're the provider and she's been living off your income, but still it's better than staying with her. And not to mention she treats you like crap. She doesn't care about you. You're nothing but a meal ticket. End of story. And she has the nerve to give you a hard time because you're working all the time. Who pays all the bills? Who finances the lifestyle that she is used to, that she doesn't have to? End it, move the hell on. That's all I got to say. But anyhow, back to the point. They always come back. Do you think she'd be back, guys, if things worked out with the guy that she left him for? Obviously not. No way. Now, a few comments, and I'm going to wrap this up in the whole comment section. This whole guy's trying to give him a dose of reality. One guy says, what is to figure out? She left. She didn't love or respect you and your kids enough to stay and put the work in on your marriage. Here's what happened. She was cheating and left to be with her affair partner. The affair partner got tired of her and ended things, so she has temporarily come back to her safe backup plan. Do not be that guy. Another guy says here, she cheats for a long time, 6 months, possibly more, sees that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, and somehow convinces you to take her back and blames you for everything. Bro, what on earth are you thinking? There is nothing here to figure out nor save anymore. Move forward with the divorce and get going on bringing real happiness to you and your daughters. It is time. Yes, man, you deserve to be happy, and you're not going to be happy with her. Never, ever, ever. One more says here, so, her side piece didn't want to commit. At least that's my read. That makes you second choice, and when she does bump into another Mr. Wonderful, she'll drop you all over again. I say cut out the middleman and get the D. Work on yourself, being the best dad you can be, and prepare for a future with someone that doesn't stab you in the back and leave you to do everything. She says that you're a bad husband. Correct. Except I disagree with having to find somebody else. At this point, he's been married, has 2 daughters. He doesn't need somebody else. He certainly doesn't need a wife. Down the road, he wants to have a girlfriend to have his needs met, and he's lonely. Okay, but marriage, no freaking way. So anyhow, I'm going to be paying attention to see what goes on there. I hope like hell that's the comments, and somebody that knows him will talk some sense into him, because for God's sakes, man, you cannot do this. But it's amazing to me the stuff guys will endure and convince themselves to stay in a horrible, horrible marriage. She will do it again.